This is our quadrilateral flowchart that we are going to be using during this section. These are all the quadrilaterals that we are going to be talking about. We are going to write down their definition and then some of the descriptions that make up the shape. So for example, what is a quadrilateral? Well, a quadrilateral really is any four-sided figure that has four sides. It has four angles, and the sum of the four angles, so that means if we add up all four angles, it is 360 degrees. So a quadrilateral has four sides, four angles, and the sum, when we add up each one of these angles right here, we would get 360 degrees. So that's true for all of these figures. Now we're going to get more specific. As we go down the chart, we're going to get more specific, and each shape is going to have more characteristics. So a quadrilateral could also be a trapezoid. A trapezoid has, its definition is it has one pair of parallel sides. It has exactly one pair only. And the pair of parallel sides is right here. Remember, parallel lines look something like this, or they could look like this. They are lines that never touch. These are, so we could also use this symbol to show parallel sides. It looks like this. It looks like inequality symbols or little arrows. It shows that these sides keep going straight and they never touch. So a trapezoid has one pair of parallel sides. It also has all of the same characteristics as a quadrilateral. Four sides, four angles, and the angles add up to 360. Now if we go over here on our flowchart, a quadrilateral could be a parallelogram. A parallelogram, its specific categories are that it doesn't have one pair of parallel sides, it has two pairs. And I like to remind myself that parallel has two L's, so a parallelogram has two pairs of parallel sides. And I'm going to highlight that this side is parallel to this side. We could also use these symbols to show that they are parallel. And then this side is parallel to this side. And I could also use these symbols to show that they are parallel. So a parallelogram is two pairs of parallel sides. And then it also has everything a quadrilateral has. Four sides, it obviously has four angles, and the sum of the four angles would be 360 degrees. Now, a parallelogram, we can take its characteristics and break it down into something a little more specific. A rectangle and a rhombus. So a rectangle has the same thing as a parallelogram. Okay, so a rectangle has the same thing as a parallelogram, meaning it has two sides that are parallel. This side is parallel to this side, and this side is parallel to this side. Again, we could show them using those symbols. So a rectangle has two pairs of parallel sides. But now a rectangle is a little bit more specific than a parallelogram. You know that a rectangle also has four right angles, and we know right angles are 90 degrees. I'm actually going to draw that right angle symbol to show that all four of these are right angles. So a rectangle is a little bit more specific than a parallelogram. A rectangle, though, also has all the properties of a quadrilateral. It has four sides, four angles, and the sum is 360 degrees. Now, a parallelogram, remember, like we said, a parallelogram has two pairs of parallel sides. Well, so does a rhombus. These two sides are parallel, and these two sides are parallel. We could show them using the symbols. Now, so we would write 2 pairs of parallel sides. Now a rhombus is a little more specific, and now it doesn't have 4 right angles like a rectangle has. It has 4 congruent or equal sides. So I'm giving each side 1 tick mark to show that all 4 sides of a rhombus are congruent. So it has 4 congruent, which means equal, sides. Now, the last one is a square. A square is the most specific. Quadrilateral that we are talking about. That means it has the most amount of characteristics, because a square has all of the characteristics as a parallelogram, as a rectangle, as a rhombus, and as a quadrilateral. So really, a square is the most specific quadrilateral that we are talking about, which means its sides, it has 2 pairs of parallel sides. These are parallel. These are parallel. We could show the symbols. It also stems from a rectangle because it has 4 right angles. So we know we have 2 pairs of parallel sides. It has 4 right angles, like a rectangle. So it gets the right angle properties from the rectangle, and then, similar to a rhombus, it has 4 congruent sides. So I'm going to show that again by using those tick marks to show that the sides are congruent. This side is equal to this side, it's equal to this side, it's equal to this side. So as you can see that when we start all the way up here, a quadrilateral is the least specific. It just means any shape that has 4 sides, 4 angles, and the sum is 360 degrees. As we work our way down, we have more and more characteristics of each kind of quadrilateral. These are the quadrilaterals that we are going to focus on today.